Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Al Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to entitle this video, The Latter Days are now. We're in the latter days. So I was watching this video yesterday, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was just jumping around over this whole thing over Saturday. It happened Saturday. IUIC in the classroom with Bishop Nate and the latter. It was 4 hour and change, 4 hour and 13-minute video, about 3 hours and some odd change in. He goes into this whole rant concerning Gog and Magog in Ezekiel chapter 38. And I read through it. Last night I read the whole chapter of Ezekiel 38, and it's mainly the part where it should come upon the land of Israel and the people of Israel. Then it links up with Revelation 20. You start the 7th verse, starts at the 7th verse, but it goes into it in the 8th verse. It says that how they're going to be loose from their prison. Now you're going to hear this man say that we loosed them from the prison. In other words, they didn't sneak around. You see it right here, right? That's supposed to represent Isaiah 24 verse 22. That they're in a pit, they're in the prison. And he said, and the scripture said, the scripture said they're going to be let out. And he says we're going to let them out. So after 1,000 years, we're going to say, you know what? Let's let these Edomites out. And let them out. You go about your business. You went into slavery for 1,000 years. You good now. Remember, a boy not an Edomite. So they go. They find Einstein, and they find Robert Oppenheimer. He's out there eating berries. Dr. Vernon von Braun, and many of these German scientists. And look, I remember I built the missiles on. I'm gonna build them again real quick. I'm gonna take this rock. And like one of the Marvel movies is Marvel, DC Comics, Iron Man. When they had Robert Downey Jr. Robert. Sound like an old black one from now on. What's that boy named Robert Downey Jr.? Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man. I think his actual name is Sparks, Dr. Sparks. I used to watch the cartoons to get the comics and all that. But some Arabs had captured him and put him in a cave, and he took the rocks out of the caves, and he put together an Iron Man suit. So he'll be there. Tony Sparks, I think his name is Starks, Iron Man. He gonna fly out. I mean, what Bishop Nate Nathaniel said was pretty much a script for some type of futuristic movie. And like I said in previous videos that I did in the last day or two, since he did this video, what are the other heads, the other bishops or deacons, anybody that's been a part of the IUIC for, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, Not one of them said anything. And we know, well, they didn't want to interrupt the class, and they did tell them on the side afterward. Oh no, they did not. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Because if that was the case, and they said, look, we're calling the council on you because you're breaking these scriptures down the wrong way. You just came out of nowhere. But I heard they've been teaching it for years. The brother, the elder from out of Great Britain, he came out a couple of times to New York and visited us. Beautiful brother, very diligent. And he did a video that was put up by damn. I'm on Gabar put it up. Yep. So he was going into that, and this is see. We train. Hey, look. Let me say this. How many of y'all have watched the movie Fight Club? Fight Club with Brad Pitt and Ed Norton. I got the video somewhere. I got a DVD of the video. I went out and purchased the video. Anyway, that movie was about the main character in the beginning. He was in a corporate office. He had enough money to buy the shit, the furniture, the cars, this, the, that, and the other. He's going into stats about, GM and car industry, how they know that there's certain cars that's going to crash, but to save money, they let it go anyway. And once the family sues them, and they weigh the difference, it comes out cheaper to just let them sue them for a certain amount of money instead of fixing the part. They call it recall. Sometimes a recall is saying, this is too expensive. It's just not going to save anything. We're not going to change anything. We're not going to save them. And the U.S. knows about that. So they know that there's a certain amount of people that's going to die by a defected part that's in millions of cars. So they showed that in the movie, right? Which is fact. Anyway, in the movie, he meets this guy, the Brad Pitt character. He never meets Brad Pitt. That's his alter ego. And almost at the end of the movie, you got to watch the movie. Matter of fact, if you got have the DVD, and you go to the, when you go to the opening page, the intro, whatever, it's scenes, and one of the scenes is Jericho Falls, and then when you click to that scene, they put some what do you call that? That you put in the bottom of it to bring a building down. I forget the term. Think about building number 7. Think about building number 1 and 2. Anyway, they set up a building to go down, so that the scene on the DVD is Jericho's walls have fallen, or something to that effect. So he sees that this thing is out of hand, right? Because he trained these guys in the Fight Club. But then he says, him and the girl, they said, we got to stop this. They're going to do more damage. So he calls like a meeting, and he says, don't do this no more. Don't do this. You're doing wrong. You're doing wrong. Michael Jackson. But anyway, he tells them, and then you know what they tell him? They said, you told us that you were going to come and tell us not to do it no more and not to listen to you. You got to watch. You got to see the movie. You got to see the whole movie. So they didn't listen to him, even though he was the head. They didn't listen to this guy because he told them in the beginning, "I am going to tell you stop doing this. You're causing too much damage. You're killing innocent people. Stop doing it." And they said, "You said you were going to tell us that, but not to listen. So we ain't listening to you. So if we got to kill you, we'll kill you too." In other words, he created a monster. As Mike Tyson would say, a monster. The Mexican monster. Anyway, I'm bugging. Now what Bishop Nathaniel did was he created a monster. He tells them, he teaches them, says this means this and that means that and that means the other. And all they do is just take it in, put it in their mental Rolodex, write it in their notes. They get I don't know if they give the precept. I bet you they sell the precept packets. Buy the truth and sell it not. But I don't know. I don't know that. I'm not an insider. And when you watch these guys, they all sound the same. That's why I call them Yabba Dabba Doo Israelites. Remember one of the episodes of the Flintstones is you had a spaceship come down and cloned Fred Flintstone, and all he can say was Yabba Dabba Doo. So I call them the Yabba Dabba Doo Israelites, because whatever they are taught, they do not question. They just, rehearse it, go through it, and then they regurgitate it. That's all they do. That's all they do. So this past Saturday, this is the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, when he made the statement. And then the Spirit had us listen to it. Moses had the prophets listen to it. Because we listen to it and I got to remind Apostle Gabar. If Apostle Gabar ain't going to put it on unless I like Gabar, you know what to do, So we're listening to it through the months. We catching things that he's going, oh, we went off on that, went off on this. But this right here, you truly went from the frying pan to the fire. And see, what gets these people is this here, which is nothing but a gimmick. Look up the word gimmick. These are Edomites in chains. And this is Isaiah 24 and 22. I'm going to let you listen.
The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20.
Okay, so we heard that and we said, oh, this guy truly went off, man. He, as I said, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. He went from the frying pan to the fire. But these people don't see it because they see the golden garment. They see the IUIC TV. They sell waters. They got waters with the IUIC on it. They got the background. They say, how can this guy go wrong? Anytime you see a politician running for president or mayor or whatever, they always wearing nice suits. They're not wearing street clothes. They're wearing nice Brook Brothers suits. When the president speaks, you got the podium with the eagle on in the U.S., the symbol of the U.S., or the emblem or whatever. Well, the real emblem is a Gadite, by the way. And then you got the background. You got the people at the press conference, and it looks presidential. You got to look presidential. There'll never be a president with a full beard. That's not happening. Happened in the past. Lincoln, Roman Empire. It happened with Nero. He had a beard. because he was young. He got into office became emperor at 16, so he had to grow a beard to look a little older, which is Trump coming back. So they look at the same thing with Farrakhan. Why are there so many people that follow Louis Farrakhan and the NOI? Because they did the same thing. They did the marching. They were uniform, meaning they had one garment. They were marching, goose stepping. And that's what got a lot of Jakes feel good about themselves. And that's how Jake gets involved in something. That's how most people get involved in something. They'll see something that's organized, wrapped up real nice, and they'll join it. I got to be a part of this thing. The Ansar Allah Community Muslim, Dr. York. I remember him. I used to curse them guys out every time I got a chance. They would have the card table out with the books, and Jakes would buy them books, and they would recite them books. Yeah, there's a Yaqub, the big-headed scientist, which there's no evidence on a Yaqub, the big-headed scientist. But Jake is easily fooled. They're gullible. They're easily fooled, man. Anyway, let me let you hear this again. So he said that we, that means me, you, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramlab, Bishop Sakaran, Elder Yashawamba, Elder Manatazakba, Elder Yashawamba, Elder out of Baltimore, Elder Karatazaba. I'm just naming names. Just naming names, brother. Bishop, Elder, whatever. We're gonna all be a part of it. We're gonna realize that Bishop Nate was right, and he's gonna lead us to tell, okay, it's time to let these Edomites go, because the Lord came to me. Here we are in the kingdom of heaven. It's fucking madness, man. Let's listen to this madness again. And see, it's our responsibility to teach you the truth, not make you a zombie. For nobody to question that is outrageous, man. It's ridiculous. It's ludicrous.
But then guess what? The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20. It's letting you know it's after when, brothers? 1,000-year reign. Go ahead.
He said, after what year, brothers? 1,000-year reign. They said it like they were under a zombie spell. 1,000-year reign. I mean, this is complete madness. This is complete madness. When he came up with the new moon as the full moon, you had some pushback from some of them people. A small percentage of them said, "No, I ain't with that," and left. Bishop Kenai, he wasn't. I believe that was it, because there was one. Yeah, I believe it was the new moon. Bishop Kenai couldn't see it, and I believe they were going to Africa. And when they got to Africa, Bishop Kenai said, "Yep, I can see it." Which is not. They saw it because he put a spell on them. Like the Galatians, the Israelites in Galatia. Paul spoke about them having a spell put upon them. It's witchcraft. He said that I don't know how these people bewitched you. When somebody bewitches you, they put a spell on you. So, Bishop Nathaniel Alaga has bewitched the followers of the IUIC. So let's go back one more time to hear how they say it in a zombie voice, and I'm not snapping on them. These motherfuckers are zombies, man. This is a zombie curse. They're bewitched. Do you really think I'm going to... The Bishop Nate in the kingdom of heaven, that's the true King David. Okay, we're going to let the Edomites go. Do you really think I'm going to be a part of that bullshit? This guy's just doing this to make himself sound deep.
The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go out. And their job, Gog and Magog.
Where's that in the scriptures? The Lord's going to tell us to release them. Release them. Only a stupid God would tell you to release these devils. What does it say in Nahum 1 verse 9? Let me get that. Okay, Nahum 1 and 9. What do ye imagine against Yahweh? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. Once this man goes down, he's going to stay down. There's not going to be a third beast, a third rising of the beast. There's going to be a second rising of the beast, Revelation 13. And they're not going to listen to us. You know why? Because they're told not to watch our videos. Just found out the reason why there's no scriptures in the comment section of their live streams, because they're told the moderators tell them no, don't put no scriptures. And you know what I noticed? Vocab Malone, when you put scriptures in the on his and I used to go on Vocab Malone's page and put up precepts, and you had certain moderators who say, if you put up one more scripture, we're gonna delete you from this page. And I'm like, I said, isn't this about the scriptures? Why can't I put up precepts? So, from what I got from Apostle Gabar, that he got from another brother that made a comment that the brother put up two precepts up there, and they told him, nah, you can't put up precepts. So what's going on, man? Then I heard they have a gag order. What's the term? Non-disclosure agreement. NDA, non-disclosure agreement, meaning anything you hear about in our school that you privy to, you can't go out and tell people. It's just like if somebody makes an invention and they got the workers that know it, they make them sign a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. So why is everything so private, man? Most sides not dealing with these people. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but there's a reason why the Apostle Paul highly esteemed the church of Berea over the church of Thessalonica, which is about 40, 50 miles away. They were neighbors. He said in not so many words, they're more honorable, noble than you because they double check what I say. They don't just take it for face value. If you go back to the One West, we used to have almost have fist fights over scriptures. We used to go. I was one of the main ones. I said, nah, man, you going off, man. We used to have arguments over the scriptures, man. Nah, you going off. We didn't have no Aria. Look, I showed Aria certain things in the scriptures that I said, Aria, you respectfully, you going off on this. Look at it again. He would look at it. Next day he'd come back, or even right then and there, he would say, yep, you're right. I remember Yawanathon, for the ones of you that go way back, Yawanathon, he had said that we had the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, and he went through it and he said they're going off. This shouldn't be here, that should be there. And he brought it to the council, and they cut him down. But you know what Aria did? Aria came back the next day and he said that brother was right. I'm changing the sign. So that's how the spirit. And we used to always have many debates, arguments. I would come up with something and I would go to the heads. We'd be on in front of the 1515 building, 44th Street and Broadway, around the mailbox. And we would have little mini debates while the camp is going on. And I would always start it up. I said, well, what does this mean? And they'd give me that nervous look, you know. And we had, there was one situation where it was High Priest Ariah and High Priest Yeshaya. And they had made a statement, one of them made a statement that we used to lock people up in Israel and sentence them to 10 years. And I said, nope, that's nowhere in the scriptures. I said, we didn't lock people up. We didn't have no penal system. We didn't have no penitentiaries. Oh, yes, we did. I said, show me that in the scriptures. It's not in the scriptures. What happens is if you rob somebody's oxen, you got to pay with 4 oxen. So that'll damn near kill you if you're not rich. And if you're rich, why would you rob the oxen in the first place? So the penalties that we had in Israel were civil penalties, meaning, like a lawsuit for damages, or you did certain things, you sacrifice turtle dove, bullock, whatever, for your sins, or you were put to death. They didn't say, okay, we're going to send you to an institution for 10 years. We're gonna lock you up. You get a 5-year sentence with good behavior. No, we didn't have that, man. That's what Esau. And Esau's system is so fucked up that anytime you send somebody to a prison system for a number of years, they come out a better criminal, man. So they breed criminals. So I told them, I said, look, I said, y'all are going off. Show me that in the scriptures. They couldn't show me that in the scriptures. So my spirit was like this one of the spirits of the Church of Berea. These guys are guaranteed. Well, I guarantee you can see it. These guys, look. Let me come back over here.
God, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20. It's letting you know it's after when, brothers? 1,000-year reign. Go ahead.
It's after when, brothers? They all said it in unison, 1,000-year reign. Where, brothers? He put the demonic sign up. But he put his hand up. But me. He put the hand up. He said, "What? What?" They had to recite it. Recite. What does it mean to recite? Cite it again. And they all said they said it in a zombie fashion. 1,000 years reign. So he trains them, man. They got to teach it the way he wants to teach it. They got to teach it the way he wants them to teach it. Teach it the way I said teach it, which I was guilty of that too. Ariel used to have us pray to the angel Michael or Gabriel, which was off. What is that? Colossians 2, verse 16 on down. It says the worshiping of angels. You're going off. So you heard it. I gotta let it play one more time. Please forgive me.
The Lord's going to tell us, release them. Let them go
Where's that in the scriptures? The Lord's going to tell us release them.
out. And their job, Gog and Magog, they're going to gather together an assembly of nations. They're going to be building weapons again.
In the latter years.
When?
In the latter years.
So now we might think that latter years is now, but it's not based on Revelation 20. It's letting you know it's after when, brothers? 1,000-year reign. Go ahead.
Shalom, brothers and sisters out there. I want to do a quick video.
Another thing that gets him, you see that? See that art? Al-Nakba, Israel, Gaza, Gog and Magog. You got the picture, you got the fire in the background, the destruction. And you get all excited. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a good one. A lot of them don't realize that they're really there to be entertained. Most of these people, they're there to be entertained. They're not there to really study and to question anything. So anyway, so we use that when he said the Lord is going to tell us to let them go. Isaiah 24:22. So let's go to that. So this right here is in a span of 1,000 years. It said the earth is utterly broken down. This is talking about 18th verse. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare trap. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundation of the earth do shake. The windows being open for the missiles to come in. The Cermat, the Satan 2. Satan 1, Satan 2, actually Satan 2. From Gog. The earth is utterly broken down. What does that mean? It means America's going to be utterly destroyed, but there's going to be areas of parts of the earth because the whole earth is going to quake. So if there's an earthquake, buildings are going to fall. But the thing, when they build it back up, the only thing that's not going to be built back up is, Babylon the Great. The earth is clean, dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly because the missiles are going to shake the earth. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a college, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. What's not going to rise again? This man, his power. His power is not going to rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day, which is now, which is our generation, that Yahweh shall punish the host of the high ones. Who's the host of the high ones? Esau, the Edomites, the elite of Edom. that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth, the leaders, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners. What is that talking about? We're going to put them in pits, and we're going to give them work assignments. It says, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. It didn't say we're going to let them loose, and the Lord's going to tell us to let them free them. And they're going to go out to the woods, and they're going to build missiles again. And they're going to come attack us. It says here, be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. What is that talking about? That's talking about, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me read the rest of this. The moon shall be confounded in the sun of shame, when the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion and Jerusalem, and before his ancients gloriously. Let's look at the word visits. Visited. It means we're going to pull them out of the pits that they're shackled in, and we're going to give them work assignments. Remember, they're going to build our walls. We're going to build everything. Be visited. It's paquad. One of the words is punish. Appoint. Appoint you to a work site. Look after, care for, to pay attention, observe, to attend to seek, look about, to seek in vain, to visit, to punish. Their punishment is going to be captivity. Lay upon as a charge. We're going to charge them to do something. To be watched over. So how are they going to get together and build missiles and come up against us? Right. To set over, make overseer, appoint, because we're going to be overseers over them. And remember, we're going to have spiritual power. The Lord said, the things that I do, ye shall do in greater. It says, the least among you shall become 1,000, and the feeble, a small one, a great nation. It said, the house of David shall be as gods, as the angels of heaven. It said, the feeble among you shall be as David. If there was a time machine, they were able to go back to the ancient world, get David, and he went into the ring of UFC, he'll tear all of them up. He'll tear arms off. That was a different breed of man back there. They were able to fight lions. So we're going to get our fierce nature back, our power back, our full strength back. So how in the hell are the Most High going to say, look, let them go, let them go. And we're going to let them go, and then they're going to go out to the damn woods, and they're going to cut the rocks up and all that, and they're going to build missiles, and they're going to come up against us. How stupid is that? How stupid is that? I put in the word latter. The word latter, as in latter days, latter years, occurs 42 times. Right, it says here in Numbers 24:14. This is Balaam speaking. It says, and now, behold, I go unto my people. And when he went back to his people, the Israelites came against his people, which are the Midianites, and they killed him. They mentioned his name. He was one of the chief guys that got killed by the Israelites. And his prayer was that if he died, he come back as an Israelite. So he understood reincarnation. He ain't coming back as an Israelite. Come therefore, and I will advertise thee what this people, the Israelites, shall do to thy people in the latter days. The latter days is talking about now. Let's see what Deuteronomy 4 verse 30 says. When thou art in tribulation, the great tribulation, Jacob's trouble, and all these, and it says in Daniel chapter 12, when you read the first 4 verses, it speaks about Michael the archangel coming delivering us from Jacob's trouble. It says Jacob's trouble in Jeremiah 30. Was that Jeremiah 30 and 7? Jeremiah 30 and 16, we're going to put them in captivity. It says that we're going to shine. We're going to shine. We're going to have a shine on us. You're going to know what an Israelite between any other nation, like an Ethiopian, which kind of looks like us. You're going to know the difference because we're going to have a glow about us. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days. We're in the latter days. The great tribulation is coming. Or the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. The time of Jacob's trouble is not here. If thou, when they issue out the charagma, that's when everything's going to speed up, and that's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. Because when people say you got to get a chip to shop, let's say you got so much money in your chip and you spend your money. You're going to be beating up the people. You're going to be waiting outside of the people that got the chip, and they come out of with their groceries. You're going to beat them up, and you're not going to take their money. You're going to take their food. You're going to take their food. And then Esau is going to have to set up something to stop you from taking their food. Because they don't got to go in there. They'll have a thing where you can't go past that thing unless you have the chip. They'll just wait till people come out with their food that have the chip, and they'll just take your shit. And they'll go somewhere and eat it. So like I said, the Esau is going to have police and military out there shooting people. And Jacob's going to be shooting back. That's utter chaos. That's the time of Jacob's trouble. So the deliverance is going to come, in my estimation, maybe 2 months, or maybe a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months after the chip is made mandatory to the whole planet Earth. The time of Jacob's trouble, the deliverance and the destruction. And there's not going to be, Esau is not going to rise up again. If you keep listening to that, look, you're going to fall with that guy. You're going to fall with that guy. And the leadership in IUIC, you should be ashamed of yourself, man. If I was a part of that organization, I seen him coming on a horse, I said, man, I'm out of here. I probably would have left and just never come back. I would have left the Passover. I wouldn't have went to the Passover in the first place. There's all kind of wickedness and cliques going on out there, man, in that organization. If thou turn to Yahweh thy power and shall be obedient unto his voice. Deuteronomy 31 and 29. I have commanded you, and evil will befall you in the latter days. Job 19:25. For I know that my Redeemer, my Savior, liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day. That's talking about now, upon the earth. That's Zechariah 14 and 1. Jeremiah 23 verse 20, the anger of Yahweh shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the latter days ye shall consider it perfectly. So we're considering it perfectly now because we're in the latter days. So we're looking to be delivered. Let me do this. Let me go to Daniel. Seven. But the saints of the Most High, the Israelites, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. What is the kingdom? The kingdom of righteousness. Or if it says, even forever, possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That means no one's going to roll up against us. Forever, even forever and ever is not talking about 1,000 years. It's talking about in eternity, infinity. 1 billion years from now, we'll still be ruling. Ain't nobody going to roll up on us. Says here, saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So what the hell did this guy get this? Matter of fact, let me start at the 27th verse. And the kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all nations shall serve and obey him. So Esau is not going to come up and get with the nations and build weapons and come against us. And he's also basing it off of Ezekiel 38. Speaks about unwalled villages, dwelling without walls. What does the scripture say? There was a wall great and high. In Revelation, 21, 22. It speaks about the gate. Let me see if that comes up. 11th verse, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having their bars there, and having neither bars nor gates. Revelation 21:12, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates. These are the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. So you mean to tell me Esau's going to knock that wall down? When this man goes down, he's going to stay down. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you, which we are under that wrath. We are under that punishment. from the Most High, for thine enemy have persecuted thee, starting with Esau. But shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. But 1,000 years, we're going to get soft, and then we're going to let them out their prisons, and they're going to go build missiles like Tony Stark's with the Iron Man suit, and they're going to come back and they're going to get us. At the order of the Most High. The Most High said, okay, let them go. What about Obadiah 1:18? I forget about that. Don't worry about that. I changed my mind on that. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy. Everlasting. That means forever. Who brought you? Who put the plagues on you? The Most High. Upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. Everlasting joy with your salvation. For fire shall come upon her, which is Babylon, from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils. Now this goes hand in hand with Revelation 18:1, for a great time, really forever. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. That's Lamentations. Lamentations 2. Miserable are the cities which thy children, as thy sons serve. Miserable is she that receiveth thy sons, put us in slavery. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and they sang gift to one another, right? Rejoice and sang gift to one another, and was glad of thy fall, Revelation 11, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation, her own destruction. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude until 1,000 years. The Most High going, I'm gonna give Esau. He did. I like the way he did that 1,000 years. I'm gonna let him take Israel again. How fucking stupid is that? And her pride shall be turned into mourning. Whose pride? Esau's pride. Anyway, with that I'm gonna say shalom. I don't want to go long.